Uh, good afternoon. I'm coming to you on Sunday, um, September 8th, I believe. And again, another Ukraine update. I just wanted to show my audience how far the Russians have advanced and Pokrovsk, which is being touted as a major objective by the Russians, how seemingly futile that objective is in terms of really obtaining any operational success on the battlefield, much less strategic success on the battlefield. You can see from the map that the Russians have to take all this territory, Sloviansk and Kramatorsk. Kramatorsk is not shown there. And they are somewhere here. They are somewhere in here, about 8 miles away. No, I'm sorry, about 8 kilometers, 9 kilometers away from Povrovsk. Povrovsk itself is not a major city. It's not a majorly defended city. And in order for the Russians to actually succeed in taking the entire Donetsk Oblast, it would mean that they would have to take Sloviansk and Kramatorsk, which are heavily defended. So they're not even close to taking Kramatorsk. It took them over 6 months to take Avdiivka and to begin approaching Povrovsk. The Russians are unlikely to take Povrovsk anytime before the heavy snow set in Ukraine. And even if they were to take Povrovsk, it's a minor tactical success, as they would still be faced with the heavy defenses of Sloviansk and Kramatorsk. The second thing I'd like to talk to you about is the situation uh, in Kursk. In Kursk, the Ukrainians are making gains, and they're likely to seal off a large number of Russian troops in the eastern area adjacent to their already successful invasion of Kursk. Putin is actually removing troops from eastern Ukraine. We're not really sure how many of those troops have been shifted, but he is moving them. And I suggest to you that he will have to move more if he wants to contain the Ukrainian advances in Kursk. We've already seen over about a week of stagnation with the Russian push towards Povrovsk. And again, it seems that the incursion into Kursk is slowly working on a variety of sectors. That is, the military, by drawing troops from eastern Ukraine and weakening the push in the Donbass. Politically, by just shifting the narrative, Ukraine has now gained the initiative certainly in the narrative as well as the military side. And politically, by showing Ukraine's allies that Russia can easily be defeated if it would just show some nerve. And then finally, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about again, you hear the talk about Russian escalation. Russia's doing all it can do already. It's already attacking Ukrainian civilian population, the elderly, women, and children in a genocidal attack with whatever it can bring to bear on the battlefield. Putin cannot even mobilize his forces fully because he considers the political cost to doing that prohibitive. How then can he possibly escalate to anything? Well, the only thing that's left is be nuclear, but it's inconceivable that someone who cannot mobilize his forces fully because he considers that the political cost, to be prohibitive, to then opt for a nuclear option, which would be much more prohibitive in terms of losing allies, creating dissent even among his own military and elite supporters. And by the way, the elite is seemingly starting to break with him. There have been some interesting statements by Russian oligarchs that the war is going in the wrong way and that this war should cease. There is a very important voice that was interviewed in Japan, and he is a key oligarch, and he who initially criticized the war and then stopped criticizing the war, who's now making some noises, who's kind of returning to a stronger criticism of Putin and his war. So if all these things are, I mean, if full military mobilization is out of the question because of prohibitive political costs, and it seems almost impossible, irrational for Putin to turn to a nuclear option, which is all that is left. Secondly, the Ukrainians don't seem to be afraid of a nuclear option, and they would be the target of that option. Therefore, for us to be paralyzed into non-action and not letting the Ukrainians fully utilize Western weapons on Russian territory to target Russian military installations seems ridiculous. It seems the height of cowardice and gullibility, and they will not serve our national interests. And it is in our full national interest to see Ukraine win and defeat Russia completely. Well, that is all I had for you. I don't have anything else. Please, if you find this talk useful or enjoyable, please subscribe to the channel. It will help me quite a bit. And again, I will see you soon. Uh,